Welcome to today's evening edition of Channel 4.5 News. I'm your host, Jenna Brown. It's been 2 years since the terrifying shark attacks on the Jersey Shore in 1916, where 4 people were killed and 1 was brutally injured. One of our reporters, Richard Mann, has a special report on the incident.
The terrifying string of incidents now known as the Jersey Shore shark attacks of 1916 all started on July 1st with the death of Charles Epting Van Sant. Van Sant decided to go for a swim before dinner and shortly after entering the water began screaming and shouting. Bystanders on the beach believed that he was yelling at a dog that was swimming with him, but in reality he was being attacked by a shark. Lifeguards quickly dragged him out of the water. Unfortunately, Van Sant bled to death on the manager's desk of the Ingleside Hotel at 6:45 p.m. A few days later, on July 6th, the second victim, Charles Bruder, was also brutally attacked and killed by a shark while he was swimming 130 yards from the shore. Lifeguards had thought that a red canoe had capsized and saw Bruder struggling in the water, so they sent a lifeguard boat to retrieve him. However, upon arrival, they had realized that there had not been a canoe at all, but that the red strip in the water was actually Bruder's blood. Charles Bruder's legs had been severed below the knees, and he bled to death on the way back to the beach. The third victim, 11-year-old Lester Stillwell, was attacked in the last place you would expect to see a shark, the freshwater Matawan Creek, while he was swimming with his friends. After witnessing their friend Lester be pulled under the surface, the rest of the boys scrambled into town to find help. After being alerted by the boys, the fourth victim, Stanley Fisher, and a few other men from town raced to Matawan Creek to see what happened to Lester. After some searching, Stanley eventually finds Lester's body at the bottom of the creek and resurfaces with him. However, on his way back to the shore, the shark comes for him as well and drags him under. Fisher later died from his injuries on the operating table. The final victim was 14-year-old Joseph Dunn, who, much like Lester, was swimming with his friends and was attacked no less than 30 minutes after Fisher was. Unlike the previous attacks, Joseph had actually survived the ordeal after his friends and the shark got in a tug-of-war over him, escaping with bite marks on his leg. It's still up for debate as to why all of this even happened in the first place, like why there were so many shark attacks in such a short period of time, or whether or not there was one shark or multiple sharks, or even what species of shark was really responsible. But there's one thing we know for certain. The people of New Jersey definitely don't want a tragedy like this to ever happen off their shores ever again.
Play Warbots today!
The ongoing war in Europe has now entered its 4th year and is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. The death toll is estimated to be in the millions, and this conflict has proven to be the most devastating in human history thus far. Last year, President Woodrow Wilson finally decided to declare war on Germany after continuous harassment from U-boats, as well as the Kaiser attempting to coax Mexico into joining the conflict. Since then, the United States has sent over troops to aid the Allies in their fight against the Central Powers in Europe. On tonight's Channel 4.5 News special report, we will not only be hearing stories from the soldiers who are now fighting in the trenches, but we will also get a look at some exclusive combat footage. Our reporter Jenna Brown is on the scene in the Muse Argonne Forest.
We're live in the Argonne Forest, and I'm here joined by a U.S. soldier, and we're going to be talking about his first-hand accounts in the fights in Europe. Sir, how's the fighting in the trenches?
Let's see. Trench fighting is actually kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, most of the time you're really doing nothing. Like, just absolutely nothing. Just sitting there day in and day out doing nothing, just doing regular chores. And then something exciting happens, and then instead of having us fight, the French are like, no, you stay right here. You no fight. You do not fight. And I'm thinking, what the heck? We haven't really done much fighting yet. Hopefully we're going to be able to fight in this offensive in the forest here. I'm hearing that we will. But from what I've heard from the British and the French, it's just brutal, you know. Mud gets into your clothes and your weapons, and the weapons all jam up. People are dying left and right every day. It's grueling. It's not easy. And then there's the gas attacks, and then the trench raids, and the rats, and the rain, and everything. It's just not very fun. It's not very fun. It's not fun.
Thank you for watching this evening edition of Channel 4.5 News. Thank you and have a good night.
We will now close tonight's program with some exclusive combat footage that has been captured over in Europe. Thank you for watching, and good night.